Hi guys and welcome to today's video. So today I am going to be reading the first Bridgerton book, which is Bridgerton, A Duke and I don't know if you can see it. I downloaded it on my Kindle because I kind of wanted it straight away. Like everyone else, I loved the TV show and I just thought, why not read the books? It's based on a set of books. So in this vlog we're going to be reading the first book. It's currently Monday. And it's 8 AM, so I have an hour to read before work, so I'm going to see how far I can get into it. On Kindle you can see how long the average reader takes, and apparently it takes people about an average of 8.5 hours, so I'm hoping that I'll be able to get it done like during the week. I'm hoping it'll only take a few days because I've got something else I want to read this week as well before the end of the week, but that is the plan, so come read with me as I read Bridgerton for the first time. Okay, so I've just finished the prologue, which is basically a flashback to Simon's childhood, which is like bits that we saw in the TV series. It's basically identical to the TV series, honestly. Like so far I'm thinking they did a good job, but I'm just about to start chapter 1 and we'll see if it goes on in the same way. Okay, I'm hoping my camera doesn't run out because it was flashing earlier, but I've read like 2.5 chapters, which is 13% of the book, which isn't too bad for about 40 minutes of reading, so I think I'll be able to get through this relatively quickly, which I'm happy about. The plot so far is like a bit different to the TV series, which is kind of to be expected. The first chapter there's like a scene with Daphne and her mother, and Daphne seems not like, what's the word, as obedient maybe as she is in the TV series. She's got a bit of wit, like she's a bit sarcastic, which is interesting. Her character seems to have a lot more depth. My camera is flashing, so I'm going to put it on charge so that I can tell you more at lunchtime. So I read a bit more at lunchtime. I've got you a weird angle because you're being held up by my duvet, but I read some more at lunchtime. I didn't film it because my camera was on charge, but I'm now on chapter 5, which is 20% of the way through, so that's like an hour and a half's reading, so I'm pretty hopeful that maybe I can get through this by Wednesday evening. But so far we have now met like the Bridgerton brothers, so the 3, so Anthony, Colin, and the other one whose name begins with a B. It was something weird, can't remember. Oh, this is a thing that I feel like was failed to mention in the show, or I just didn't pick up on it, but all of the siblings are named in alphabetical order. So Anthony's the oldest, whatever the second brother is begins with a B, Colin begins with a C, and Daphne begins with a D because she's the 4th child, because there's like 8 kids in total, which I feel like was neglected in the show. I feel like that's kind of a quirky little thing. But we've been to the ball and we've kind of been introduced to, I've got to say that Whistledown's like newspaper has been coming, and Daphne has now met Simon at the ball, so they know who each other is. Also, you can see my bookshelf here. I feel like you never see my bookshelf because I film over there by my desk because there's nowhere to sit by the bookshelf, and the bookshelf has a lot of other things on, like Polaroid cameras and random stuff, and it's not big enough for all the books. But yeah, that's where I'm up to. I'm really enjoying it so far. It's kind of like an easy read set in like Regency era. So I'm gonna go back downstairs now that I've finished work for the day and gonna read some more. So it's now 25 past 10 and I'm gonna read one more chapter before I go to bed. I'm currently 32% of the way through, so we're getting through it. I have no idea why this looks so blue. I think it's because it's still just turning morning, like it's just got light outside, but it's Tuesday morning and it is 10 past 8, so I have about like half an hour, no, like 40 minutes to read. So last night I read another chapter, and basically the Bridgertons and Simon all went to Greenwich and like where the meridian point is, and basically Anthony now knows about Daphne and Simon and their plan, but he's still not happy, and he's still not happy with Simon being with his sister. And then there's so much like sexual tension and chemistry between Daphne and Simon. So yes, I'm about, I think I told you this last night, I can't remember, I'm like 40% of the way through the book now, so I'm hoping that I might be able to finish it today, and if not, I'll definitely be able to finish it tomorrow. Basically, it's Tuesday, my birthday's on Sunday, and I'm trying to finish reading, this is in another vlog, but I'm trying to finish reading a book that my boyfriend gave me last year for my birthday, which had 5 books in, which is why I haven't finished it before my birthday, and I've still got to start the 5th one. I wanted to read this one first, because I kind of wanted to get this video up, so hopefully I'll get this finished so that I can start reading that book, if that makes sense. Okay, so a plot point that is not in the TV show has just happened. Basically, Simon wasn't there when his dad died, but this other Duke was, and this other Duke has letters for him from his dad and a message, and this other Duke's about to die as well, so he's given them to Daphne, which is weird. This was completely overlooked in the TV show. So, you joined me at lunchtime. I got up to 49% of the way through the book, so I did like another 10% this morning. So maybe I'm going to do another 10% now. It is currently 20 past, so I've eaten my lunch, so I have basically 40 minutes to read until I need to be back at my desk for work. So I'm going to see how far I can get through now. So Anthony and Simon had just decided they were going to have a duel, and Daphne had stepped in because we'd got to the point where Simon and Daphne had their first kiss, and then Anthony found them in the maze, or not, I guess it wasn't a maze in the book, it was just outside, you know, in the garden where they shouldn't be alone because they weren't chaperoned, and they were kissing. So Daphne's just interrupted their duel with the help of her brother Colin, and the second brother is called Benedict, which I thought yesterday when I was saying what's his name, but I wasn't entirely sure to say it out loud, but yeah, it's Benedict. So also Eloise appears in this so much less than in the TV show, and I'm wondering if she's going to start appearing now, but like she's barely made an appearance so far, so we shall see what happens next. It's after work now, and I realised I didn't update you at lunchtime because basically one of my friends called me like halfway through my lunch, so I ended up chatting to him for like half an hour instead of reading. So I think I'm going to read for like half an hour before I start making dinner now that I finished. It's about 5:30, so that's what I'm gonna do. Oh, I did read up to the point where Simon's told Daphne that he can't have children, and she has decided to marry him anyway, and that's where we're at. So I've just finished chapter 15, and I've realised that it's American spellings in the book, and it's obviously set in London for the most part. Yeah, obviously it's set in London for the most part, and I look so tired. But it's just like ruined my, you know when you're reading something or watching something you have like a suspension of disbelief? Having Z's where there should be S's has just ruined my suspension of disbelief because it's not the British way of typing English. And I've looked it up and the author is American, so of course it makes sense that she used American spellings, but surely when you're selling it in the UK you'd switch those spellings to English spellings, especially considering that it's set in the UK. Let me know what your opinions on this are, because if I'm reading a book that's set in America, I'll just skim right over the American spellings. I'm completely used to American spellings, as I'm sure we all are because of the internet, and I lived there for 6 months. But when it's a book set in London, I want British spellings. I want S's, not Z's. Let me know your thoughts on this topic. I feel like it might be controversial. Let me know. So it's Wednesday morning now, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to finish this book today, because I made like 2 portions for dinner last night, so I feel like I'll be able to not have to make dinner, just have to reheat it later. But I'm on chapter 16, which is 65% of the way through the book, and Simon and Daphne have been married now, and they had their first night in the inn, and I feel like in the TV show everyone was like, oh, it's really like saucy, and people were like embarrassed watching it with their parents, but I just don't think the TV show was like, it was just like basic, but the book's a little bit more saucy for sure. I have basically half an hour before work now, so I'm just gonna read as much as I can for the next half hour. Hey guys, so it is Thursday now? Thursday? Is it Thursday? Yeah, it is Thursday. And I finished reading Bridgerton this morning, and I can't remember what I last told you, but basically Daphne and Simon got into a fight after she basically held him down and made him, there's not a savoury word for it, but he spilled his seed inside of her. to avoid saying things on YouTube. Anyway, he did that. Well, she did that. And then he began to stutter and stuff again because he has an issue with stuttering since he was a child and he didn't speak as a child, and it's part of the reason that his father didn't like him and why his father was basically a horrible person to him. I was about to say another word there. Let's stay PG, Katie. And he began to stutter again, which turns out that's why he ran away, and he ran away to one of his other estates because apparently if you're the Duke of Hastings you have endless estates. Wouldn't that be nice? Just to run away to somewhere else in the country and have a big gorgeous mansion probably. Anyway, so he did that, and then the day after she was like, sod this, I'm going back to London, but didn't go to her family home. She went to Hastings house, which is like their, you know, her husband's house. Oh my god, I'm holding my hand up and my arm aches from doing this. Anyway, so she's there and her brother's like, where the hell's your husband? Like, he needs to come back. And she's writing him a message to be like, I'm pregnant, and then Anthony delivers Simon the message, and then he's like, oh crap, maybe I should go back to London. So he chases her down, and he chases her down in a forest when they're on horses, which is just so, I was gonna say medieval, but it's not medieval because it's set in Regency era London, so it's definitely not medieval. They're like talking about like galloping around Hyde Park. I'm like, you just could not do that. Like, you could not go at full speed on a horse around Hyde Park anymore, because every time I've been to Hyde Park, it's been so busy. Speaking of Hyde Park, I actually have a vlog from 3 years ago. Oh my god, 3 years ago. Of me and one of my friends meeting up and going to Hyde Park in the summer. So I'll link that below if you want to see some Hyde Park scenery that's not from Regency era London, but is from 2018. Yeah, that's quite a cute vlog. I like that vlog. Anyway, he comes back in the kind of makeup and it turns out she's not pregnant, which is sad for her. But then they get into like other arguments, and eventually she's like, you shouldn't not be a father just because you hated your own father and to spite him because then you're missing out on something. And basically he agrees to have a baby. And that's kind of where it ends, I guess. And then there's like a little epilogue of them, and they have 4 children, which they've named in alphabetical order, as you do if you're a Bridgerton. I think that's a brilliant idea, except for the fact that I don't have any baby names that begin with A or B. My preferred baby name begins with a C. Not that I'm having a baby anytime soon, but mine begins with a C. So honestly, I would not want to narrow myself down to having to name my kid after the next letter in the alphabet. That happens, and then there's like an epilogue. There's like a section after the epilogue where the author's like, I came back and wrote some more, and it's basically when Daphne is like 41 and she's pregnant again, which like isn't uncommon nowadays, but in Regency era London I don't think you'd get many 41-year-olds being pregnant. But yeah, that's kind of where it ended. I actually really enjoyed it. It was different to the TV show, and I'm assuming, I'm turning this into a series if you hadn't already guessed, I'm assuming that the other books have been incorporated in the first season, because although the focus was Daphne and Simon, we got glimpses of other characters and their storylines, but I think the books focus solely on who the book is about. So it was Daphne and Simon's story, and her brothers were kind of periphery characters, as was Eloise, and I'm sure we're going to learn more about them in the next one. I don't know who the next one is, but if you're reading it as well, just let me know what you think and how you compare it to the TV show. And yeah, I think I'm going to end this video here. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out when I basically do the next Bridgerton reading. I've got something else to read, and then I think I'm going to switch on to the next book. But yeah, turn on the notification bell and make sure you press all notifications so you don't miss that when it goes live. And I will see you in my next video.